They'll never take me alive. I'm getting high with my 4-5. Cops on these suckers trying to die. Even as a youngster, causing ruckus on the back of the bus. I was a fool all through high school, kicking up dust. But now I'm labeled as a troublemaker. Who can you blame? Smoking weed up, we take away the pain. So I'm hopeless, rolling down the freeway, swerving. Don't worry, I'm about to crash upon the curb, cause my business bloody, baby. If they tried to understand me, what should I do? I had to feed my fucking family. What else could I do but be a thug? I'm slanging with the homies, fuck hanging with them phonies in the club. Got my mind on danger, never been a stranger to homicide. My city's full of gangbangers and drive-bys. Why do we die at an early age? He was so young, but still a victim of the 12 gauge. My memories of a corpse, mind full of sick thoughts, and I ain't going back to court. So fuck what you thought. I'm drinking Hennessy, running from my enemies. When I live a beat for 23, there's so much pain.
Welcome, everyone. How are we? What are we on Wednesday? Yeah, we're on Wednesday. Everyone, please like, follow, and share. That's how we are able to continue and get this information out there, the truth out there, what this crazy ass government is doing. Who is in charge of our country? Oh, Biden is on his lawn chair on the beach. What, this is the second vacation in 2 weeks? I mean, I guess we just don't have one. I guess we live in a world today to where anybody can be president. I mean, in that administration, I guess like Kamala, I mean, she's probably in there making decisions, probably people in Congress and Senate. I mean, this is stupid. It has really gotten out of hand. It's stupid. Hey, Devil Dog. Hey, Joseph. Welcome in. Everyone on Instagram. Good to see you. Christopher, listen, I'm trying to read y'all's. Patricia, Barbara, Robert, Bill. Good to see you guys. And everybody on X and YouTube, I appreciate you as well. It's hard to see some of the comments on that, but if you comment, I can see it on YouTube. It comes through, but I have to switch over to Instagram to see you. And we can do that. We definitely can do that. Well, January 6th, so Pelosi, she has really hitting it hard. You know, Dirty Jack Smith has filed a new indictment, a new revised version against Trump for January 6th that he caused an insurrection. Well, there's a few videos here that have came out. First, I'm going to say Pelosi should know who the Sergeant at Arms is. She absolutely had an opportunity. Trump had already pre-planned the National Guard to come, thousands of them, and she shot it down. There's a chain of command you have to go to in order to get it. Everybody says, well, President Trump, President Trump. President Trump wanted them there, okay? But there's a chain of command that takes place. You have Pelosi, you have the Sergeant at Arms, you have the military. There's a chain of command, you know, like chains of custody. But this Democrats, they don't know what chains of custodies are. They just, you're guilty. Here's your evidence, period. We don't care if we tampered with it or what. You're going to take it and you're going to eat it and you're going to shove it up your ass and then you're going to just prosecute whoever you want to because that's how the Democrats work. Period. That's how they work. That's all they want to do. But let's take a look at a few of Pelosi's, what she was concerned with at the moment that all of this was going on. And it sounds to me like as I listen to some of these new videos that's been released from January 6th footage, it sounds like to me that she had already had it pre-planned in her head how she was going to prosecute Trump, what she was going to do to get Trump, and that she needed to stay focused right then, right there on what that was going on. But she did not want, and this is facts. You can go look this up. You can go watch the committee hearings where the military, where the Sergeant of Arms said they actually spoke to Pelosi earlier while this was going on 3 different times and wanted to bring the guards in, and she still didn't want. She still didn't want to do that. She is responsible for January 6th. is what she is. Her and her cronies are. But let's listen to a little bit of her talk.
We take an oath to protect our country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. There is a domestic enemy in the White House. And let's not mince words about this.
That's all she cared about. She can. Let's keep going.
And the footage shows her questioning how the Capitol could possibly have been unprepared for what happened that day.
How many times did members ask, are we prepared? Are we prepared? We're not. Prepared for the worst. It's all like the tentacles are. Now, should have been here to start out. I just don't understand this. I just don't understand this. Why do we empower this way? Why not being ready?
Now let's watch this, the last one.
Wait a minute, let me just say this. I think our focus has to be on the president. Let's not divert ourselves. I've never liked Son. I think he should have been gone a long time ago.
Ma'am, the press is very focused on this. Schumer just now political breaking news alert that Schumer is going to fire the Senate Sergeant at Arms.
I don't even know who that is. Yeah.
Like it's immaterial. It has a role in is what we're saying.
Well, I don't want to have it on a par with the insurrection and the impeachment and the rest of that. If they ask, I will respond, but I'm not doing it on a par because it's a diversionary tactic.
Understood.
See, she had all this planned. She didn't want the focus to deter. I'm trying to find the other one. She didn't want the focus to deter away from her bullshit because I remember that. I remember when they actually certified the election at 3:30 a.m. that morning is what they did. And this was all planned. She had her freaking daughter there. She had her daughter there as well recording because she needed her little narrative to be pushed as far and as wide as she could push it. And that's what she did. That's exactly what she did. She made everyone believe what she needed them to believe. She's full of shit. She's just full of shit. She should be arrested. She should be arrested. I'm seeing you guys' comments on Telegram. Um, Trump needs to have a new DOJ investigate Pelosi forensic audit. That woman is all about pure greed. Absolutely agree. She's insider trading. You name it. Pelosi should be investigated for financial crimes. Agreed. Agreed, MJ. People aren't who they seem who they are. Absolutely. They're gonna steal this election somehow, I bet. Trudeau is a nightmare here. I'm so sorry, MJ. I am so sorry that you're having to deal with that. But see, you think it's bad right now with whoever's in office. Wait till KK gets in there. Wait till Kamala Toe gets in there. She is the country will not stand. I'm telling you, it's going to get bad. It's going to get so bad. She only wants to control the food. Their capabilities, they believe they're untouchable. They believe that they can just continue to do what they want against people. And you can't do that. We are Americans. We put them in office. They work for us. They seem to forget that because they've gotten so much greed within them. And that's how it is with them. And it shouldn't be that way. It just should not be that way. Period. Well, Cornel West was on a podcast, and he is a really heavy left-leaning presidential candidate that's running independently. And he had a few things he needed to say today.
There's the Democratic Party to get you off ballots elsewhere. So their big theme is democracy. Yet Jill Stein, even RFK, all they are doing is trying to stop people from having more choices. absolutely right. You saw it internally in terms of the primary. Sister Mary Ann and others hardly had a chance. Then it becomes third party and the various legal teams coming at us tooth and nail. I'm getting all the letters from lawyers, man. My wife, beloved wife, Anna, getting all these letters coming at us. Some of it personally targeted in terms of lawsuits. Some of it's against the party, our party, Justice for All. And yet we are on the move, man. You know, we're going to be on a good 45 states through the combination of Justice for All party and these marvelous small parties. You know the story, the United Citizen Party, the Black Party in South Carolina, that Clyburn himself founded in '69 when he was a rebel and an insurgent. The Aurora Party in Alaska, Salute them, Progressive Party, Unity Party in Colorado, Natural Law Party that's been so open to us, flowing in Mississippi. I can go on, I don't want to name all of them. But when you add those, plus our Justice for All, plus the various write-in petitions that we've been working on, that we're still going to provide a choice. Provide a choice for those who believe that there ought to be some room for truth. The condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak. Some room for justice that has to do with poor and working people. But also, Brother Jordan, we're bearing witness for our brothers and sisters in the global South, because their destiny is inextricably interwoven with our destiny. When you're looking at an empire that's like a bully in a china shop, you've got to be able to make your voice, your vision, your solidarity efforts connected to the wretched of the earth all around the world, and also to send a message to the younger generation. You all don't have to sell out. You all don't have to.
Exactly. The younger generation, you do not have to sell out, because your kids in the future, when you decide to have children, if you do, and their kids, they will pay the price for what takes place at this moment, at this time of this election. That is who we are speaking up for. That is what we are fighting for. We enjoyed, I'm 51, I'm a Gen X, and I got to have so much fun in the 80s and 90s. And I want my grandkids and the future generations to continue that. They're trying to erase history already. They've taken down statues. History books have been rewritten. So many things. The Mandela effect. They do this purposely. They do it purposely because they need to, uh, like they say, the Great Reset. They need to reset things to their narrative, to their becking, and there will not be the freedoms that we have enjoyed. Because how can you miss something if you've never enjoyed it or ever had it? Period. And that is where we're at this point now. And it is up to us, we the people, to continue um, speaking the truth, speaking the facts. Now, you vote for whoever you want to. That's your choice. As being conservative, I believe that is the part of that we do have is democracy, and that is in our Constitution. Now, the Democrats don't believe in that. They speak a bullshit game of saying democracy, democracy, but they chose to not allow you to have a vote. And you're okay with that. Me being a conservative, even, I'm very upset about that, even though I'm not a Democrat. And you should be too, because that is your freedom. That is the one thing you have free. That is the one freaking thing you have free that you don't have to pay for. No taxes, no nothing. The one freaking thing. And you're allowing them to take it away from you. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? Because they are taking it and you're sitting back allowing it. They're showing you their muscles. They were showing you, hey, screw what you want to do. Screw the Constitution. I don't give a shit about it. We're going to tell you you're going to do, and you're going to walk in line the way we tell you to do. And you're not seeing it. You come back and say, I asked this question to so many people on the lives that are Democrats. I say, well, how do you feel about that? That's took your democracy that you guys preach. It's your Bible, democracy. That's your go to. They took it away. How do you feel about that? Well, I don't see as if it was taken away because she was on the ticket with Biden. So we look at it as if it's okay. No, it's not. There were other people wanting to run in your party. They have pretty much locked them out, even taken RFK to court to keep him off the ballot. Are you guys that crazy? Come on, you guys ain't that stupid. Surely not. Surely the freak not. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Don King had a lot to say about Trump and about America. Let's have a go with it.
Bribed, intimidated, or coerced. It is freedom, peace, or death. And so he is demonstrating to the American people that he will never, never surrender. And so not surrendering, they're trying to kill him. And this has been a horrible situation for us here in America to experience Trump assassination. And so I want the American people to realize, recognize, and identify that this is something that we can't allow to happen. We've got to fight back just like Trump would do. And Trump says never, never surrender. And so we're not going to surrender, we're going to fight back. And even in the time of his stress of his death, he's putting his fist in the air and said, fight back, we're going to fight. So I love the man. America needs the man. America loves the man. And we want Trump to be able to, we got to support Trump, because in supporting Trump, we support ourselves. And this is what we must do for this great country called America, and fight for our country and our democracy and our rights. And Trump is the one who's identifying and exposing the crookedness, the corruptness, the divisiveness of this corrupt, rigged system that we're existing under. But today, the killer is dead. The one who attempted killing is dead, the shooter. And now we are going to go out and fight back to re-elect Donald Trump as our president, so that we can fight this system and do what he said. We will create a whole new system. We will take this system apart. I want to make America great again.
Wow, very powerful words coming from Don King. He never really cared for Trump. And that is amazing that you see Democrats seeing it. You know, RFK, I believe Trump is actually setting the tone, setting the stage of cleaning it up. And that is what the Democrats do not want to happen, because they're evil people. Not all, but the ones we have in office are evil. They're evil. And like Trump says, they are very bad people. They don't care about the children. They don't care about the human trafficking they have going on at the border. They don't care about the border. They have ample time to fix this border. You've got Kamala standing up there saying, "Oh, when I'm in office." Chick, you're in office, okay? If no one you and you're out of your mind, you are vice president. You were in office. I know you ain't been doing shit for 3.5 years. God knows what you've been doing, but you are in office. So you're saying, and I understand a vice president can do this or that, but I'm sorry. They simply stated she's been in on every meeting that took place at that White House. She knows exactly what's going on, because I believe it's Obama and a collective. You got the Obamas. I mean, that was the craziest inauguration I'd ever seen in my freaking life. It really was. It was the craziest one. And they had to make it look like a movie set. Maybe it was a movie set. Maybe all the shit that's going on with Q, maybe it is a movie. Because my God, I'd rather it be a movie, because this world has gone to shit. This world is not our world anymore. And it just truly, it's like a really bad nightmare. And what else could it be? What freaking else could it be? And then we had Trump at Arlington Cemetery at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And also, he's commemorating the 13 soldiers that lost their lives. And they want to stir trouble. And Kamala was just five miles away from there. 5 miles. In the whole 3.5 years, have you seen them do or say anything towards the veterans? I haven't. She's an anchor baby anyway. It's all she is. You're right, Joseph. Definitely gone to shit. It has. It has. Okay, let's see what you guys talking about on Insta. It should be on RSVN, but I don't know where. Keep looking around 1 p.m. Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Um, I'm a registered independent and conservative. I used to vote Democrat and Republicans, whoever I felt was right for the job. But in the last 10 or 12 years, I have not voted for one Democrat. Carl, put in the comments why you haven't voted for one Democrat. Let's see. GS, they changed the street sign in Michigan and Palestine and even made it brown. I don't really know what that was. I'm trying to read you guys' comments. I appreciate you guys commenting. Please like, follow, and share as you do so. Trump has to keep us safe. Thank you for following me, Beeps. I appreciate you. Trump needs to have the New Deal. I already read that one. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking out your comments. Yeah, it is. It is. It's a crazy world we live in today. And funny how she never went to the border, but just a few days after we found out JD was going to be Trump's VP, he visited the border. Exactly. JD is a good speaker, gift of gab. Yes, I think he will be a wonderful vice president. I've been doing some research on him. Things about him. He has a good Christian structure. I mean, I don't like to just say religion, but we have to have God in our country. We have to have God in our schools, and we have to have God in our White House, period. You see how the evil runs amok when you take God out of everything. Everything. And here we've got so many people, these elites are actually like Warren Buffett. He just pulled out $981 million in stocks of what bank was it? Bank of America, I believe. You tell me something's not coming. He's not the only one that has pulled out a shit ton of money on all kinds of banks. These elites are pulling their money out of banks for a big reason. There was something about some Bitcoin investor, and since it was connected to Palestine, they yanked all their money out as well. So you got to keep your eye on that stuff because it matters. The shit going on in our country it is crazy. It is unheard of. It truly is unheard of for the things that we're having to deal with. We shouldn't have to deal with this stuff. We should be taken care of. We should have been taken care of. Well, JD Vance was asked today about the altercation that took place at Arlington, and he stated, well, I think, first of all, the altercation at Arlington Cemetery is the media creating a story where I really don't think that there is one, and there wasn't one. There's verifiable evidence that the campaign was allowed to have a photographer there. See, they're trying to say he was trying to push campaign whatever for his campaign at Arlington because photographers there. Well, news media was there. There's verifiable that they were invited to have a photographer there. There's verifiable evidence that the families of these people who had their loved ones die 3 years ago at Abbey Road, they had, Abbey Gate. That's 13 Americans. A lot of them were there with the president. They invited him to be there to support him, and that's not an insult. So they're trying to say that Trump, this is what the altercation was about, that Trump just went for a photo op because the photographer was there. He was invited there. Now, Kamala and JoJo, they weren't invited there. They weren't invited there. But let's hear what JD Vance had to say when he was asked questions about Kamala.
But to have those 13 Americans lose their lives and not fire a single person is disgraceful. Kamala Harris is disgraceful. We're going to talk about a story out of those 13 brave, innocent Americans who lost their lives. It's that Kamala Harris is so asleep at the wheel that she won't even do an investigation into what happened, and she wants to yell at Donald Trump because he showed up. She can go to hell.
She can go to hell. You know what? That's another thing I like about him. He's not afraid to speak the truth like the bunch of rest of them are. Oh, well, my image might be tarnished. Be who you're going to be because we need real people. We need people when you freaking want our vote and you're asking for us to vote for you, stand by it. Be accountable. Stand by exactly what you say you're going to do for the American people. But now, that is what the alleged argument confrontation supposedly is about. They're trying, of course, they're going to depict anything. They're going to take something that was so honestly, freely respectable. Because have you seen in the last 3.5 years, JoJo didn't even know where to turn or anything when the wreath went up. The first year, he didn't. I don't think he even went. Um, they don't care about the veterans. They just don't. They've weakened our military. By allowing people to go in and say, well, I'm a female when I'm a male. God made man, God made woman. Now, I ain't got a problem with whatever you want to do. You do your thing. But when it comes to saving and protecting in our military, can you honestly say that, you're too busy wanting to get your nails done, that you're going to crawl in the dirt, you're going to stay out in the desert for months at a time? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to have the capabilities? Are you going to run like a little girl? Are you going to be a little bitch? Are you just going to run and act like that? Our military is what protects the United States. Who calls on us? All the countries call on the U.S. because we keep funding both sides of wars. We have 4 proxy wars. This is just bullshit. It's complete utter bullshit. You're right, GS. They want open borders. They definitely do. Biden's lawyer friend said Biden had dementia. I heard him say it. Let's see. Well, for his 4th term. Now we're talking about Obama. I know you got to be talking about Obama on that comment. He needs to be arrested for treason along with Kamala. Absolutely. The party of common sense and morals versus the uniparty. And we have rhinos. I'm not saying it just on Democrats. We have rhinos on both sides. We have ones that all 200 Democrats voted or didn't vote. Let's say. And then what about what's going on in California? Did y'all hear about that in California? That they passed a bill. It's got to go through one other area before it gets fully passed, of giving illegal immigrants $150,000 to get a home. Yeah, 150 grand to get a home. Started out where they were talking about they wanted the Americans to be able to afford it and get it because of COVID, because of the fake pandemic that went on. Well, yeah, now they have changed it. It came up they're going to give illegals $150,000. Yeah, sure are. That's what they want to do. Yeah, so now they're testing it. I believe California is a test state. They are trying everything they possibly in New York, but mostly more California, but New York as well. But I believe those are the 2 test states to try out all of their socialistic idealisms and to see how far they can push the boundaries and the limits. I really believe that that's what's going on with California and New York, and they're just trying to see how will it work? How will it pass? They're for perverts and pedos. They pass bills to protect them. So crime, their punishment wouldn't be too bad on them. You got to do like Tennessee. You do it. That's what you need. Period. For sickos like that. But what they're doing for illegals with a home for 150K.
Reports. Hi, William.
Well, Martha, the bill just passed the state Senate, now goes back to the Assembly, where Democrats have a supermajority, and aides tell me it is likely to pass. The bill makes illegal migrants eligible for $150,000 to buy a new home. Lawmakers created the program so citizens and legal residents could afford to live here. But last week, Democrats changed.
Immigrants in California.
So they gonna get the 150K. Welcome in, Devil Dog. Devil Dog is a creator. we'll talk more about that later about the shirts and stuff and hats, but he is a veteran himself. Again, thank you, Devil Dog, for your service. Thank you, all veterans, for your service. The ones in service now, the ones out of service, the ones thinking about going into it, think long and hard. Thank you for your service. Thank you. My dad was in the Army as his dad, and so on and so on. And I am glad today. I miss my father. He died in 2007, but I would hate for him to see the direction this country has went in. I truly would have hated. Hey, Kimberly, welcome in. I would hate for him to see how this country has turned. It is flipped upside down. So many people lost their lives. So I could sit here today freely and speak as I'm speaking, and others. And then here you got Kamala and her group of thugs and JoJo trying to completely flip America upside down and take everything that these men and women fought and gave their life for. It is totally disgusting, completely disgusting. It angers me. It angers me and it hurts my spirit and my heart to know that America is in the dire it is in today when it could have been prevented. That's why you have to get out and vote when it comes. I don't care. I know God is more powerful than anything. Just like when Hillary and Trump were running against each other and she thought she was a shoe in, she just thought she was a shoe in. That was God moving then because he knew what was coming. That was God moving then when Trump won. Trump wouldn't be standing here today, plain and simple, with the attempted assassination on J13 recently. God intervened there. He is trying to show everyone, I'm here and I'm showing you that this is the man that I have put and aligned to do different in our country. He's given us chances. He's given us chances. And I'm not saying Trump's God. No, that's what I hear all the time from the Democrats. See, they take things so damn literal. I could take a lot of shit literal to them. But 99% of their shit is literal. 99% of what they freaking do, they mean it. They mean it. They gonna take and make you pay for everything. And now you got Kamala sitting there talking about how I'm not for electric vehicles. She was pumping gas this morning in one. Come on. Now she's going against everything, saying she's not for it when she is. She can't, her policies. Are you kidding me? She's disgusting. Totally disgusting. Period. I can't believe it. They don't care about the American people. They just don't. Okay, we have in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, we have an apartment complex that has been completely taken over by Venezuelan gangs. Well, now they're going to a new complex not far from there, and they're trying to take it over. Here is your proof. So now they're taking over apartment complexes. They show up. Who are they talking to on the phone? Who's their leader? Did our government give them that phone that they're committing a crime with? They have guns. Who gave them the guns? Did you know that they were storing guns? This is a fact. Look it up. In the shelters. And you know what? How they were getting them in? They were putting the guns in the food, in the boxes, and they were transporting them in there. And they're giving these illegals weapons. We're letting age-fighting adult men only pretty much come across the border. They won't let authorities go in these shelters to do inspections or CPS for the children. and guns are being transported in. There's also been fentanyl presses seen and found, even in daycares. There's been those presses. It's actually made kids sick, and actually, a few have been unalived by it as well. This is shit you could easily look up yourself. I ain't gonna give you no bullshit. I'm gonna tell you like it is because we're not gonna get anywhere with misinformation or lies. And let's talk about misinformation. Let's talk about censorship. Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody knows him. Instagram, Facebook, Meta, Threads. Well, Mark Zuckerberg, he admits that the Biden administration pressured Facebook to censor Americans. Zuckerberg explained that the Biden administration pressured his team for months in 2021 to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our team when we didn't agree. Well, Zuckerberg, that is your platform. And what the thing these people on these platforms need to do is say, look, I'm not going to do that. If you're going to shut me down, but I'll sue your ass because you're violating what? What do we have? Our Constitution. Period. You stay within the guidelines of what you do. But see, the Chevron Act, the Supreme Court ruled on, means that these three little bullshit letter agencies of the alphabet, as soon as someone files the right motions, your shit will be moot. It will mean nothing. It will not have any effect or bearing on anything. Period. So we just need to wait on that. But Zuckerberg did say that, and Trump had a nice little thing he had to rebuttal with it because, see, they censored not only COVID-19, they censored about the elections. They censored things that if you talked about the election, well, Trump decided to state in a statement, Mark Zuckerberg plotted against him during 2020 election. He says, warns Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg could spend the rest of his life in prison if Meta cheats in the election. Save America book is fixing to be released and the truth will be coming out. So, Marky Mark, what are you doing now? Are you running with your tail tucked behind your ass and you're coming around the bend because you know the truth's coming out and you're trying to save face because you see the American people are fed up? We are fed up with you telling us what to say. We're fed up with you freaking banning us for not doing anything but being an American and speaking. As long as you're not threatening, what is it your problem? Because you don't want the narrative of the proper narrative, the true narrative, because everybody's got to pay the media that doesn't tell the truth. It's psychological. They control your mind. They control what output goes where. Guarantee you could go tonight and watch on one, of course, and you can hear them verbatim say the exact same thing about a story over and over and over. Why? They're being paid by the government. Go check the infrastructure bill out. It will tell you there are millions and millions of dollars going to media outlets to push their narrative. Some can be said just like you and I are right here, and you understand it blatantly. CNN, even Fox, all of them do. Every single one of them flip it. Every single one of them flip it to their narrative. That's how they like to do. Alan Girl, hello, welcome in. Yeah, the gangs are coming to Massachusetts now, but they just go up. The gangs think they can just go up and they can take what they want. It doesn't matter anymore. Did you ever think we live in America to where gang members from another third world country could come over, knock on your door with a weapon and say, you know what? You get out. This is my place. I talked about this. I've talked about this over and freaking over. It's happening, people. It may not be in your backyard right now. And see, the cops aren't doing anything. Why? Because you've got this little cartel. You've got multiple cartels, but that one's the big one. They are running money. They are running drugs. They're human trafficking. Human trafficking outseeds the drugs. Think about that. And the gun sales. Think about that. Human trafficking makes more money than the drug problem or the guns. Period. Think about that. organ harvesting, you name it, they doing it. Hell, a prison recently. I can't remember how many people were in the prison, but the organs are missing. Yeah, the prisons are now starting to take organs from the prisoners. Yeah, one family, a daughter, her dad died, and when got him, all his organs were gone, and one was still alive. One of his kidneys were missing. Yeah, they were doing something and put him under. He woke up. One of his kidneys was gone. Yeah, this is a crazy ass freaking world, y'all. So you better do right, not go to prison. You might not come out. You definitely might not have a kidney. Harris went to the Google, changed some of the articles. Yeah, changes the. See how much power they have? They can change even the internet. Think about that. They can change, but Google's a little bitch anyway. They're fact checkers or people who work for Google, people who they pay to say this is not right, because I've fact checked the fact checkers before and proved their asses wrong. Anybody can do it. You just got to research, dig, research. We live in a crazy ass, stupid world. They should have fact checked what they say. Hang on, I'm trying to see y'all's comments on Insta. Hey, Carl. Most of these children are probably going straight to our Democrat leaders and our entertainers. Oh, absolutely. You spent most of 2019 in Facebook jail because they tried to control the truth. I was posting about the Bidens and Harris. Exactly. That's my point. They try to shut you up at every turn. I just got off a 3-day ban off Facebook. Probably be back on one after tonight because I talk on a podcast, because I tell the truth. They'll probably shut that bitch, period. You're a licensed firearms manufacturer and have been watching that closely. Yeah, you need to keep watching that because it's going on. It's going on. Absolutely is going on. They robbed 2 gun stores there. Really? Your sister lives in Colorado, Patricia. Be praying for her. Tell her to stay safe. Keep her head on a swivel. Yeah, this is like the movie New Jack City. Um, that's a different one, but it's more the known one now. You're glad your dad left this earth too, to be with the Savior too, before he seen the mess it's in. Totally agree. The world is just not the world anymore. You can't even go shopping without being fearful, you know, because they've opened this border up and they've let whatever and whoever come through. Terrorists, rapists, kidnappers, drug lords. They're making, they don't, that's why they're after Trump. They are making so much money. They don't care about the American people. Only thing they care about is taking everything from you. You working your ass off on a 40-hour week job or plus more hours, paying the man, paying the big man, paying the big man, multiple men. And then our government agencies are donating to Kamala Harris's campaign. And where does that money come from? Where does that money come from for those agencies? Would you like to know the agencies? These government agencies that have donated to Kamala's campaign. The U.S. Department of Defense donated 213K. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services this is to her, 263K. The U.S. Department of State of 199K. And the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, and they don't help their veterans, donated 217K to that freak Kamala. That's our tax dollars that fund all those departments. So that being said, that means you, me, we're funding Kamala's presidential campaign. Think about that. How messed up is that? How messed up is that? It is our tax dollars, Kimberly. It is our tax dollars. Let's see, what are you guys saying over here? You start your morning off making sure you didn't miss any of your. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, no, this isn't my first show. This is I just started streaming about a week ago here on Instagram. Um, I this is our 92nd show, so you can catch all of them are recorded thereafter. You can watch every single one of them on Rumble at Country Crazy 73. So you have to download the Rumble app. It's pretty simple. It's free. All my videos are free. I do not charge. Um, if you want to donate, you can because that's how we keep the show going. You're welcome to do that. But yeah, this is our 92nd episode. So we got some great episodes that are there, some crazy shit. I get a little crazy sometimes, country crazy. I do get a little crazy, but when it needs to be. But yeah, go check out the shows. You might learn a lot and educate quite a bit about it. But yeah, so what's going on? Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? I don't care for Comer. I really don't, either one of them. But he had a great point here. And I'm not saying this just against Democrats. I'm saying this about Republicans as well.
From their families, Republicans and Democrats alike. That's what they do. They need to charge these people up. They need to be able to get them on board. But there's another reality that is literally looking down on them. Greg, look at the ring of sweets, okay? This is not unique to Democrats. There is a game of money. When people talk about uniparty, we are strangled by the money reality in our politics. Those suites start at 500 grand. You think there's like a teacher group up in there? You think it's like the Cub Scouts of Columbia County, South Carolina, that's up in those boxes? Some of them are lobbies and good things. The media boxes, you think they're free? Why do you think I'm on the floor? News Nation is not a broke company. Nexstar is a massive organization. We are corporate media. We don't have one of those boxes because that's the game. You pay to play. Those boxes are filled with the same people that they say they're going to regulate. They are literally looking down on the faithful and being told, yeah, we're going to break down on them. We're going to make them pay their share. They paid $500, $700, $1 million, $1.5 million to have those seats. They get hotel suites that are probably gifted to the party. And the same thing is true with the Republican side. And they're going to take them down. They're going to change how it is. They are looking down from on high at the people who make the difference in their communities. And that is the reality of politics.
And that is the reality of politics. They pay that much money for those seats. That is donors you have. She paid though for TikTokers, flew them out. She paid for one of her rallies, and I'm sure she's doing it on this one, but you had to have a special email in order to do it. You had to show your ID and it had to match. Wonder what that was about. Just like all these millions of social security numbers that got leaked. Yeah, did you know about that? 2.9 billion of social security numbers. So my social security number, your social security number, they can have my shit. My credit sucks. But they'll take all that and use it to whatever. So an actor actually owns the MPA, and he actually cleaned it up. And out of the 2.9 billion, there was like 2.7 million that actually were social security numbers. Guess what the remaining amount was? That was for deceased people that carried a social security number still. So why did that many people that are deceased need to have a social security number attached to them? They're deceased, not being mean, not being anyway at all. I'm just saying they're deceased. They don't need it anymore. When my dad passed away, his social wasn't worth anything anymore. You think. You think it's not. But we're living in a society and a government that is evil as shit. And they will use it to whatever they can. But the one thing is, they cleaned it up. And I know Tennessee is cleaning up their voter rolls. I'm not sure. You need to get a hold of your state representatives. Call them and say, clean this shit up because I'm an American. You work for me. We, the people, are tired of your shit. Clean these voter rolls up because my vote matters. It's the one damn thing I got for free. It's the one damn thing you don't freaking tax. It's the one damn thing that I deserve to do freely, and it be legal, and it be right and honest. The one thing. And they want to take it. So screw that shit. Hey, now, how else can the Democrats win? You're right, Carl. You're right. What are you saying, Joseph? Metaverse leaked Social Security numbers actually, and on the black web. Well, that's one time that they were leaked. This is a whole new time that was leaked. This was done recently, about a week and a half ago. All those Social Security numbers were leaked. And they go through and they say, well, actually, it was a good thing because now we can get rid of all the deceased people. Bitch, please. Why didn't you do it before? Why did we? We know why. We know. We know why. We know exactly why they didn't. That's for dang sure. But you got all these donors up there, and you got Kamala paying people $15 an hour. Look it up. $15 an hour to come and sit in that seat and pretend that I'm for the Democrats. Yeah, that goes. Well, I get so mad at this shit, y'all. I do. It just pisses me off. Let's talk about Texas. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton raids a Latino Democrats' home, including those of LUCA members. Why would these Latino members have voting information? This is a 5-minute video. Watch it.
Happened in these raids, and what raises the highest level of concern for your organization?
Good evening, Mr. Garrett. What we heard on Thursday was very concerning to us. On Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., Lydia Martinez, a 35-year member of LULAC, was served with a search warrant. 7 to 8 police officers entered her home. They interrogated her for over 3 hours, looking for cell phones, computers, documentation relative to her voter registration efforts in San Antonio.
And what is the source of the information that led the Attorney General's office to take these actions, so far as you can tell?
There are a couple different narratives that we're hearing, but essentially he's saying that he has started this election integrity investigation over 2 years ago. It seems like it basically goes back to a Republican candidate who lost and basically reported, voter harvesting as the result of that. There was no evidence that was provided at all whatsoever.
So these raids occurred because subpoenas were issued, and you're still trying to find out what the source material or the evidentiary basis of those subpoenas was. Is that correct?
That's correct. There have been, at least from what we can tell, about 5 different subpoenas issued as of last Tuesday. Unfortunately, it took us about 48 hours to learn of this because the victims in this particular case were told not to talk to anyone about it. They were left without cell phones, without computers. In our case, Lydia Martinez, without her appointment book, which she basically uses to track all of her doctor's appointments, prescription medicine, no way to actually even contact her family. She actually had to drive to a neighbor's home to get help reconnecting with her family.
Has there been any effort to obtain a judicial injunction on this activity?
One of the defendants, Manuel Medina, actually has. So he has a lawyer, and he has filed an injunction to stop the search of all the devices that essentially were seized during that raid. But we're working with our LULAC members to ensure that they also have legal protection and legal counsel as well.
When the Attorney General's office says, as it did in the announcement of this is just a matter of making sure that voting is legal and proper in Texas, when you hear that, what about that sounds intimidating to your organization? Or is it the way the raids were conducted?
It's not just the way that the raids were conducted. This is a pattern that the Attorney General Paxton has actually been pursuing for some time. In early June, he went after the Catholic Charities of Rio Grande Valley, a highly esteemed organization that provides support for immigrants legally in the United States. In July, he went after the Annunciation House, which is a refugee home for migrants as well. 2 weeks ago, he went after over 24 Latino nonprofit organizations that are basically serving the community. They act as the social safety net when the federal government cannot provide for these families. And just last week, he went after community leaders. So our big surprise was essentially that he's gone beyond the pale. He's going after individuals, LULAC members, Latino leaders, civic leaders, essentially in their community that are doing what they should be doing, which is engaging Latinos who are eligible to vote in these elections.
Juan, does it tell you anything about the state of play of Texas politically from the vantage point of Republicans that this activity is taking on prominence in the headlines? And how do you believe not only your organization, but those sympathetic with it in Texas are likely to respond?
There's been a huge shift in Texas, right? Today, as it stands, there are 12.1 million Hispanics in Texas. That's 39% of the population in the state of Texas. Latinos actually outnumber non-Hispanic whites in the state of Texas. And when you account for Hispanic, African American, Asian Americans, you're talking about 58% of the population of Texas are minorities. Texas is now a majority minority state, and Republicans in control are afraid that they will exercise their vote and they will vote them out of office.
Do you believe Texas in the presidential election is actually in play?
There are certain specific districts that are absolutely in play, right? And so one of those search warrants was actually on a candidate that's actually running in District 60, I believe. And so there is absolutely no question that this is a voter intimidation tactic. It is an effort to threaten our community activists, our community leaders, and to also chill the Latino vote. We are writing a letter and have written a letter, delivered a letter to the Assistant Attorney General, Kristen Clark, who's in charge of the Civil Rights Division, and we're demanding an investigation.
I share some caution on this.
If you have nothing to hide, what's the problem? And you cannot tell me that all of them there are legal to vote. Furthermore, if it was a candidate running, I would want it to be straight up legal and right. They're hiding shit, but Luca has been cheating for the Democrats for a very long time. Exactly, Island Girl. Exactly. It's such a bullshit move. I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad they need to do more raids. They need to confiscate all. Why do they have so much information on the voters? Like, if you have nothing to hide, turn it over. Turn it over. Because you know some shit is on the devices, and you know the American people are going to find out. And you know what? I mean, you could be deported. Is that your problem? You come to America, you abide by the law. See, we may have a two-tier justice system going on, and we may have those that do not want to abide by the law, but there are more that do abide by the law than not. And our justice system, the part that does do its job, they'll do their job on you, and that's what you fear because you have no rights here. Do you understand? You would have rights if you would come through the damn border legally the right ways for our safety, for your safety. Okay? Period. Period. It's that simple. You come through right. There are people that are waiting, that have been waiting for years to become a legal citizen, American citizen, that get up every day, clock a clock, 9 to 5, whatever they do, and that pay thousands to attorneys to do it the right way. And they're still having to pay that while you can get your asses up and come just to the border through it and get a damn envelope full of cash and whatever else you want. Get the fuck out of America. Do it the right way. This is some bullshit. And I'm sick of it personally. I am sick of it. I'm sick of going to work every day and not having money to buy groceries and do the things that I need to do. I have to concern myself with a roof over my head and car and put the gas in the car just to go to work, just to come back and pay for a roof over my head. Because why? The government has taken so much. Inflation is so freaking high that the rental companies and the homeowners, they jack up everything. Every time I sign a new lease, every time it goes up. $100 to $150. How can anyone survive that? What little money you would have had extra, you don't have extra anymore. That shit is going to pay for what they're taking from you even more. Then they want to say, well, we're going to give you a raise. Why you even bother? Why you even bother giving me a raise? Because the government's going to take it too. Why? Minimum wage, we're going to make it go up. Well, how about you make minimum wage go up when you don't have inflation up? How about you make minimum wage go up when you don't have everything under the sun going up? How about you do that? Then the American people can thrive. And I tell you, that's what Trump wants. Trump wants the American people to do well. He's a businessman. And that man likes money. Yeah, he likes money. He knows how to freaking make it. And I want a man like that. And he's got balls of freaking steel. He's got balls of steel. He'll put Putin and every single one of them in their damn place. They fear him. They fear him. And that's what you need. That is exactly what you need leading our country. A country is just only as strong as their leader. We're weak bitches right now. Weak bitches is what we're viewed as. Did you put Trump in office? The cojones on that man and how he'll be perceived. And you know I'm right. You put Kamala in that office? Really? Really? America doesn't need a woman president. I'm a woman. I'm about rights. I'm about your rights. America does not need a woman president. Okay? Just because, and you ask all these voters that actually are going to vote for her, older women, you'll ask men even, what policies has she spoke about that you agree with to vote her in? You know what they say? Well, it's time for the country to just have a woman. Not one of them. And I have went through all kinds of videos, watched all kinds of videos of these reporters out on the street, boots in the ground, getting this information, and they don't speak about any policies she has. If any policy is mentioned, well, she agrees with Biden's policy. Okay, people, Biden has screwed us. Our country is flipped. Okay. Those are policies I don't give a shit about, that I do not no longer want to be followed. And if she's going to follow all that shit, she can never be president. She doesn't need to be president. I'm done with it. I'm done quietly sitting back and being afraid I'm going to lose an account. I'm like my 50th account on TikTok. I don't care. Y'all taking my check. You taking my freedom of speech. I mean, come on, people. We the people hire them, okay? We hire them. You hire a doctor to make sure your health is going to be okay. You hire a doctor when you're paying your premiums and you pay those deductibles and you have a surgery. We are hiring these stupid asses sitting in Congress and Senate and in the White House. They work for the American people, and people for so long have forgotten. Hey, wait a minute. We trust the government. Ronald Reagan said, oh, those are the words you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear. No, you can't trust the government. You can't. You should know this by now. You should know it. It's that simple. Think of how much money we will have with Trump in office if they really wanted a woman. They would have went with Chelsea Gabbard. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to go back and watch some episodes. I get really hot on some of this shit because I get fed up with it. It's just a bunch of shit at the end of the day, period. And we deserve better. Most of them do not have protection under our laws because they're illegal aliens. Oh, you're right, Carl. Trish, hey, it's good. Trisha, it's good to see you. Hey, hey, Howard. Hey, Muffin, Paul. Hey, Star. That's everyone that's on Insta that I see. I can't see the people on X. I'm sorry. I'll have to get another device in order to do that. But I want to say thank you. But yeah, this country sucks. It's just getting really, really bad. Ugh. You know they're going after the Amish, don't you? They're going after this one God, I can't remember. I'll play the video. Um they threw all of his products out, every bit of it in dumpsters, you name it. They're going after their Amish. They're saying they're not following regulations. I agree you should follow regulations because that's for our health and everything, because this government sticks shit in the animals and their food and stuff. But say you have the Amish that they know how to cook, they know how to grow shit, they know how to build, they know all this shit. But this guy has been under attack so much. They've took all of his food, and this is what they're doing to him now.
I'm here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, looking inside the window into Amos Miller's farm store operation here. We have multiple state troopers inside. We have coolers there on the ground that have been filled with products from Amos Miller's operation. We have multiple people in there. They've been inside Amos Miller's building here for hours, not allowing media in, searching the premises. I was told by one of the troopers that they are executing a search warrant, and I was instructed that I cannot be inside. Again, if you followed Amos Miller in the past, you know that he's a local farmer here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, who provides organic products to his private buying club. People voluntarily choose to buy from him. I actually just spoke with a customer who came several hours today to purchase products. He's been a customer for 20 years, never been sick, never gotten sick, I should say, from Amos Miller's products. And here you have these two men coming over, pointing to these coolers. Again, these coolers have at least been partially filled with products from Amos Miller's store. It looks like they will be hauled off. You have these tyrants coming in and searching. And here's the problem with, you have these state troopers and these other, I'm assuming they work for the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. These people are at the heart of our tyranny problem in America. They'll tell you, I'm sure, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I was told. State trooper will say, I'm just doing my job. This is the problem we have in America. As long as there are people like this who will execute, who will follow the orders of the tyrants, the bureaucratic tyrants at the top, say, go do this, raid this man's farm, take his products away. As long as we have quote unquote regular, ordinary people like this, the people you see right in this video, as long as we have people like this who will enforce these man-made edicts, we will continue to have tyranny in America. And that's what we're seeing right here. The Amos Miller case has been an ongoing example of tyranny, of man-made law, and just an abandonment of justice. This is not justice. What you see here is not justice. Amos Miller has not broken the law of God. There's no victim here bringing a charge against Amos. Where's the victim? Where's the victim that is coming to the magistrate and saying, Amos Miller has wronged me and I would like him to make restitution? You're not seeing that. That's never been the case here with Amos Miller. It's always been the government wanting their share, playing the nanny, acting as the nanny, and trying to control. And the last thing these guys want is someone like Amos Miller to be successful, because he represents the opposite of the nanny state that they want to enforce upon us. So stay tuned. We'll have more here. It looks like they might be.
Yeah. So they are going after this Amish guy who I've seen him throw. It's unbelievable. And you had two workers for the government, for the FBI and some other company for the FBI, one of the alphabet agencies, stood there, made these other guys count every product while he threw it in the dumpster. Butter, milk, you name it, meat, you name it. They just threw it away, and they stood there watching while he did it, trying to shut him down. Because, see, they put no chemicals in it. The government doesn't have control over it to where they put what they want in it. That's the problem with our country. If you go back to what the, 40s, 50s, obesity wasn't on the rise. And if it was talked about in a sense that it was a health problem. It was a problem that needed to be addressed. Now they put so many MGOs, they put GMOs, they put so many bad chemicals in the food. You don't even know. I mean, good God, go to Walmart, get a can of corn, just a can of their great value corn, and it tells you consuming too much of this product, there's lead in it. They go on and tell you what the freak is in the food. It's on there. You just got to read it. You just got to read it. Lead, the milk, listeria, and all that lettuce. If your Walmart was empty with all this lettuce, it was because there was a recall of the lettuce. I try to put out all the recalls, but there's so many recalls. But you can go to the internet, you can check, and you can see what recalls have been made for that day, for that month. And you would not believe the recalls on the stuff that you probably have in your cabinet right now in your pantry. So you need to be mindful about that and stay on it because there is some crap. Carl, well, she will unburden the burdened that was not burdened before Hunter snorted what which was burdened in the East Wing. Absolutely agree with you on that one. That was good, Carl. That was a good one. You hate, let me see what that says. You hate going into Walmart and Target, nasty place. I know, but they make it to where that's where you have to shop. I mean, if you live in a small town, I live in a small town and you're limited, you know? You're totally freaking limited. Josh Hawley. I was never really a fan up until probably this year. But he's really tearing their asses apart at the committee. He got this one. And they're starting to expose the evil. They're starting to expose the elite. Watch how he exposes this hooch.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I just want to know who really runs the energy department. Is it you? Or is it the mega corporations whose stock that you own that you're making profits in?
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe it's the foreign billionaires who fund your conferences. Let's try something else. Do you know the names of the foreign billionaires who fund the conferences you go to? When you were here last, I talked with you about the fact that more than 130 officials in the energy department reported more than 2,700 trades of shares, bonds, and options in companies that ethics officers said was directly related to the agency's work. This is institutionalized corruption. And I asked you point blank, do you own any individual stock? And you told me, no. Let's just look at it. It was not a difficult question. Do you own individual stocks, Madam Secretary? You said no. In fact, you repeated it 3 times to me. No, no, no. Turns out that was false. You did own multiple individual stocks. And you neglected to report it to this committee for months afterwards. Why did you mislead this committee?
Oh my goodness.
That was exactly my response. So why did
Senator,
you mislead this committee?
I believed that I had sold all individual stocks, and I was incorrect. So I came back.
You just don't
and
know your
told,
portfolio?
Pretty much.
It's a big one, I guess, huh?
No, it's extremely small.
Apparently not. Someone manages it for you?
So I came back as soon as I found out that, in fact, I had not sold all individuals.
Wait. No, that's not true either. Let's just look at the timeline. Let's not. I just remind you, you're in the know. Madam Secretary, you testified you didn't own any individual stocks. You didn't sell the stocks for a whole nother month. And after you sold the stocks, you waited another month before you informed this committee. Why did you mislead us, and what were you hiding? Why did you wait so long? Why did you hide this? You're here before this committee a year later after actively misleading to us, after denying and delaying, and now you won't tell us. Was one of them Proterra?
No.
You sat on the board of directors at Proterra. You made millions, CNN reports, and stock options at Proterra. Then you promoted Proterra stock and Proterra products as energy secretary. Was that one of the stocks that you sold?
This is so... I mean, really.
Was that one of the stocks that you sold? Yes,
no,
really.
No.
You are presiding over institutionalized corruption in your energy department. You have violated the Stock Act 9 separate times. You have been referred by the Inspector General for violations of the Hatch Act. It is institutionalized corruption that you are now the face of. And here's what I'm trying to figure out. I just want to know who really runs the energy department. Is it you? Or is it the mega corporations whose stock that you own that you're making profits in?
Oh my goodness.
Or maybe it's the foreign billionaires who fund your conferences. Let's try something else. Do you know the names of the foreign billionaires who fund the conferences you go to? Since you don't know the stocks, do you know the names of the foreign billionaires?
This is unbelievable to me.
Let me help you.
Mr. Chairman.
One of them
be
is
accused like
Hans-Org
this.
Weiss, a Swiss billionaire who has used various dark money front
I do
groups
not know what you
to
are
funnel
talking about.
various dark money front groups to funnel foreign money into American politics. He has used the Burger Action Fund, $20 million, that then sent money to the Fund for a Better Future, that then sent money to the Climate Power Group that has funded conferences you've attended. Do you know who this is? Do you think it's a good idea to attend conferences funded by foreign billionaires?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know the stocks, you don't know the billionaires, you would take no responsibility.
Unfortunately,
Meanwhile, your energy department, executives in your energy department are trading stocks in companies that they have direct oversight over, and you were too.
Expose every single one of them. I will show every single one of them. Period. They have been getting rich off the backs of the American people for far too long, and it's time it comes to an end. So, Josh Harley, keep doing your thing, keep exposing their asses. And wouldn't that be like if you or I went to court and we lied? It'd be perjury. We'd be perjuring ourselves and we would get in trouble. We would go to jail. Well, she needs to go to jail. Every single one of them. Start pulling their tax returns. Start pulling every single thing. This should be very transparent. All of them should be transparent. What stocks they own. Republican too. Republican too. Because, hey, if you're going to play, you're going to pay. It's that simple. Play with the American people's money. Play with the American people. Play with the American people's children. And you will pay. Period. Now, I found that video, guys, of your living butterfly effect right now. Me too. Half the crap I use post on Facebook is back and forth. Hey, you just got to keep posting. You got to bring it out because some things that I've talked about 3 years ago are just now coming out. But you guys can check out all the videos that are on all the podcasts on my Telegram channel. It's Country Crazy Chat. So if you have Telegram, go to Country Crazy Chat. There's 3 years worth of information on there. Go to the very beginning and work your way through, and you will learn so freaking much. I did find the video of Pelosi getting into the vehicle January 6th. And she's just all over the place. But she lies. She knew that they needed to be there, and she says they weren't prepared.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
She takes responsibility. Yes, that's probably the most honest thing you've ever said. And you probably said it facetiously because your daughter was in the back recording you. Because you had her there with a film crew. Because you knew this shit was going to happen. Because you wouldn't allow the National Guard there. This solely lies on your shoulders, Nancy, and your cronies. Every single one of you should be dragged in and arrested. Military tribunals, if you ask me. Period. Period. Oh, man. What a show. What a show, guys. But I'm going to show one more video. And I think this is a very beautiful thing that this college did. And it just shows you how God works and how he moves. and just wait till the revival that God has in store for us happens.
Ohio State football players just did something on campus that I have never seen before. A free event put on by some of the Buckeyes' biggest stars collected thousands from the Ohio State community and grew even more throughout the night. It was all about sharing their faith in Jesus, which started with everybody coming together to worship, and the energy was amazing. Each of the players went up to share their stories of how their relationship with Jesus has changed their lives and how much God loves each and every person in the crowd. Courageous attendees took a leap of faith to come up front and pray a prayer to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior, and it only gets better. Late into the night, with everyone taking notice, person after person made the decision to get baptized, which is a public profession of their faith, and lives are going to be changed forever.
Amen. I love to see when the Holy Spirit moves. Boy, when he moves, doesn't he? You guys, you got to go get your I'm Voting Felon 2024.
Time to fight back, no, they won't like that. Everywhere is somewhere, and that's where the fight's at. I think it's time to fight back, no, they won't like.
You guys can get your hat at DA Customs with a K, Lello's Leather. Veteran owned, veteran operated. You can contact us well at 781-389-8179 at www.dacustoms.com. Right now, if you order, guys, got to go check out the merch. Free shipping 40. Use that code and you get free shipping right now. We have some new merch coming out here very soon, the next week, maybe 2 weeks. Couple t-shirts that I helped design and everything. And I think you guys are really going to like them. I love them. I love them. I want to thank everyone on X. I want to thank everyone on Rumble, on YouTube, on Instagram for joining me tonight. It is always a pleasure. Please make sure you like, follow, and share. It's very important that you do that. And if you do want to donate, I have some people that ask, you can do Rumble Rants. I'm not sure how Instagram works and all the other platforms. But I just want to say thank you. And I enjoy doing this. I enjoy giving you guys the facts and the truth. If I'm ever wrong, call me out. If I'm ever wrong about it, I'll be glad to be accountable because that's how we grow and that's how we learn. But once again, I want to say thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I've had a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we'll have a show for you then. Good night, Kimberly. Good night, everyone. And everyone, please have a safe Thursday. Is tomorrow Thursday? Or today? I don't even know. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, right? Oh, the week's almost started. I don't know. We got the holiday coming up. Keep your head on a swivel. And as always, country crazy. Find that video.